we consume. Exactly, right. Yeah, you got to come all full circle back to us.
Definitely the consumers that's what I was trying to say. Like, I feel like we, as the consumers, why are we plugged in? Why do we got our women plugged in the Zeus network?
Yeah.
And shit like that.
Liv ain't watching that shit. I just want y'all to know that Liv ain't watching that shit.
It's nothing wrong with Zeus network.
Yes, it is.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But people like to compare what other races and shit doing and other cultures do. Like, oh yeah, they got this going on in their culture too. But at the same time, they got their foot in the door in banking, farming, education, schools. They got their foot in the door with that shit. So they got the time to be on some bullshit a little bit. They got the luxury to do that. We, as black people in our culture, being behind, we don't got the luxury to be doing the shit that we doing while we got a very small percent of our population actually excelling in shit like academics, engineering.
Well, that shit, again, that's just based off of, that goes to like the conversation I was having about TikTok in like China and like TikTok out here type shit. They don't want us to be, and not even just us, but just like human beings and Americans as a whole, they don't want us to be super educated with shit like that. If that was the case, they be doing what TikTok, what China doing with their TikTok, where they entire shit, if you was to log into TikTok in China, their entire shit just like informative shit or like art or like good shit, positive shit. Where you go through our shit, I'm telling you right now, you go to my TikTok, you scroll 5 times, you're gonna see ass. At least one time, you're gonna see some sexual shit. You're gonna see some stupid, unpurposeful shit. Just shit that's unpurposeful. And that's the shit we spend our time doing 24/7. You just said ain't nothing wrong with Zeus Network. What is wrong with Zeus Network is they exploit our people. And a lot of the bitches ain't even really like that in real life. You could tell. Like, as far as like the way that they portray themselves, they come on this show expecting to be this way.
They 30-something years old fighting over a fucking bunk bed.
Exactly.
And then...
And attention is what they fighting over. That's what everybody fight over.
When we pointing the finger, we also got to look in the mirror. The men in our society right now, in the black community, in our culture, the men we not holding our weight and what we supposed to be doing. I feel like
for sure
females got a whole lot more motion than the males right now. Like,
oh yeah, see, this where you about to disagree. More emotion, you said?
Females got more emotion.
Actually, I ain't gonna just disagree. What, like, explain that. Like, explain that more. What you mean by that?
I'm talking about
all money.
basic.
All money ain't good money.
Motion. I'm talking about basic motion. I ain't talking about like 6 figures. More females is on their shit is having their own house, having their own car, having their phone bill paid monthly with kids. While with niggas with
you think kids, it's more of that? I think it's more. I think you seeing that more. I don't think that's necessarily more of that. I think there's numbers behind that we can actually like look up to see that. But what you saying, I get the basis of what you're saying. I think the reason why that's happening though is because that, again, it's no. I want to make this clear. There's no 100% answer on any side here. Like, there's no it's the woman's fault, it's the man's fault type shit. We both are at fault in a lot of ways, right? But I feel like on the women's side of things, it start with the whole idea of like, obviously every human being has independence and deserves independence and is their own human being type shit. But it's the idea like everything that we do in this generation now, we take shit to the max. Like most of the shit that is going, like, again, I ain't even gonna do it. Most of the causes and trends and shit that's going on right now, like the support groups and all these different organizations and all this type of shit, it's all good causes. Like, it's by the base of it, it's all good causes, and most of it is shit that I would support. You feel me? Like good intentions. It's about this generation has a knack of taking the shit and dragging it to the farthest fucking extent, right? So I say that to say this: women want to be so independent, and that's fine. If you want to be independent, that's cool. But understand that, like, you trying to be a completely independent, like I'm solo woman type shit, that's not ideal for a perfect man versus woman. I mean, man and woman relationship. Mm-hmm. And either the men thinking that like that way ain't either. And that's where it starts right there, right? They want that independence, and that's fine because they was oppressed for a long time. And they just start getting it. So, like, you know what I'm saying? They start dragging it a little bit type shit. And I think that's where we're at now. And I think, if you look at the internet, I think a lot of females is kind of coming around, like, to thinking like, damn, we do need each other. I see a lot of motherfuckers that say they hate men, but I see a lot of bitches that's come back around saying like, hey, we do need men. Like, we do need to have this shit as a unit, because they seeing it now. You seen it now after all this time of you not being the right way. You seen it now and where it leads you to, not having nobody. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? But on our side, obviously, woman only gonna be a woman for a man.
It's a yin and
That's
yang.
it, right.
It's a yin and yang to life. Like, it's a reason why it's a male and it's a female. We
Right.
each got roles that we need to play. But I feel like males, we had our way for so long,
Yeah.
and it seemed like we're in charge and we want to be in charge, but really, it's the way that nature set the shit up.
Right.
We're the ones that's making the rules at the end of the day.
Right.
And as fucked up as it is, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think it's all based on perspective. Me and Olivia have this conversation all the time, and one thing I will always give her is she's a very understanding woman, and she wants to be a woman, and but she just want me to be a man.
mm-hmm.
As long as I'm a man for her, she gonna be a woman for me. And there was we've been together for a long time. There's been times in the relationship where I may have not been doing that the absolute best. And she always addressed that type of shit, like, hey, yo, you need to be this way for me if you want me to keep being this way for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's my response? Be a man. I got you. Be a man. And she always was thorough with that shit. We have these conversations all the time where I'm like, listen, bro, we understand there's roles in this shit. When people hear, those is trigger words right there, my nigga. By the way, I had to say this because you just said that, the role shit. Those type of words is trigger words for these motherfuckers out here.
Yeah.
They hear roles and they like, oh, you trying to put me in a box? A role is not a lesser word, my nigga.
Just to still be
Right.
in the box anyway.
Right? Yeah, right. Just to still be in a box anyway with everybody the fuck else and all they trans type shit. What they don't understand is this, bro. My role is not bigger than yours, and your role not bigger than mine. We is, like you said, yin and yang. We two sides of the puzzle that have to come together and cannot be a whole puzzle just being two sides. And everybody's so focused on trying to be like, again, everybody want to be the best self they could be.
Yeah.
Which I respect that. I want everybody to be the best self they could be. As somebody who's been in a relationship for almost a decade, since I was 16 years old, I would never have been the best self I could have been if I didn't have the relationship I had with Olivia. If I wasn't able to build that type of relationship with a soulmate.
Yeah.
I would never have been that. You feel me?
I feel like a lot of our problem too is that people want to excel by their self. Like they're not going to take the back seat in order for a group type thing to work.
To succeed, for the whole thing to succeed.
Yeah, like they're not going through that shit. They'll rather make sure that they self is secure and they own shit is secure, and past that they really don't give a fuck. But yeah, like people don't want to. Like, I'm not gonna diminish my little bit. Like, I'm not gonna diminish my light in order to help you shine, and I think that's a real problem because
Wait, stop right there. You just lied to the American public, because I was about to say you would do that, and you do that. First of all, I was gonna say that's type of shit. Again, I was just saying I praise Liv about the other thing. This same shit I praise you about all the time, the motherfuckers, is that you gonna still do your shit, and you gonna be on your own shit, but you the only motherfucker I know that would sacrifice your own life for my life. I don't know about anybody else's, but